participants. My presentation is not research per se, but is based on stress, and I titled it "Stress is Life." Reason for that is that depending on individual's perspective, stress can be seen in different forms, and it's being experienced at different stages of life. That is from cradle to grave. In fact, in my own view, stress is life itself, because all means of survival or existence are not stress-free. Some people see stress as negative events, e.g., death of loved ones, loss of job, etc., that brings out the vulnerable part of human beings, like crying, sadness, anger. This type of stress is called distress. And on the other hand, some people view stress as a gender tester, a faith tester, or a motivator to a higher level in life. For instance, so on the other hand, I said some people view stress as a gender tester, a faith tester, or a motivator to a higher level in life. E.g., a threat of sack or losing one's job can make someone sit up at work. Fear of poverty makes us to save for rainy days, and fear of contracting patient diseases makes health workers observe universal precautions. This type of stress is classified as eustress because it brings out the positive change in humans. However, the response or reaction to stress is dependent on how the subject in question views it. For instance, a bad event can wreck some people psychologically, and thereby impeding their potentials, and whereas the same event will bring out coping and surviving skills in other people. Let's take body image defects as an example, like state of amputation can cause can turn some people into beggar, while the same event can also make some people as champions, as we can see in Paralympics. Yeah, so definition: stress can be seen as a physical response to a threatening situation. When stressed, the body thinks it is under attack and switches to fight or flight mode, releasing a complex mix of hormones and chemicals such as adrenaline, cortisol, and norepinephrine to prepare the body for physical action. Stress can also be seen as circumstances that threaten or perceive to threaten one's well-being, and that thereby tax one's coping abilities. That was by Wayne Whitten. Stress is an adaptive response to an external situation that results in physical, psychological, and or behavioral deviations for organizational participants. That's by Fred Luthans in 1998. So sources of stress: how do we get stress? As I Ford mentioned, that stress is life. So therefore, the sources of stress revolve around the factors that stabilizes our life. That is, things that we occupy ourselves with, like relationship, career, academics, finances, spirituality, and social life. That's a pictogram showing the sources of stress. Then forms of stress can come in different forms. It can come as a depression, anxiety, frustration, being miserable, sadness. Now, response to stress. We have three forms of response to stress. First one is fight. When your body goes into a state of stress, we may feel agitated and aggressive towards others. This can be due to our body's natural reaction, being fight. This can be a helpful reaction to ward off predators. But in unnecessary situations, it can negatively affect relationships and ruin reputations. The second form is flight mode. Some of us avoid our stressors, removing ourselves from the situation instead of tackling it. This can be a sign of the flight survival instinct, a function that can save our lives if we find ourselves in dangerous surroundings. However, in everyday life, this natural instinct can lead to a stressful situation escalating and increase our stress levels when we realize that the stressor isn't going away and we need to face it. The third mode is freeze, and is very uncommon. For some people, becoming stressed sets the stage for dysregulation. The energy motivated by the perceived threats gets locked into the nervous system and we freeze. This response sometimes reveals itself when we breathe. Holding our breath and shallow breathing are both forms of freeze. Example of that is like seeing a ghost. We become startled. Effects of stress. Stress has effects on our body, mind, emotions, and behavior. On our minds, we can see problems and memory problems like partial dementia, difficulty in making decisions, inability to concentrate, confusion, seeing only the negative, pessimism, repetitive or racing thoughts, poor judgment, and loss of objectivity. And on our body, we see this, we can perceive or see the signs of stress as tachycardia, increased heartbeat, tightened muscles, fatigue, insomnia, stomach or bowel upset, sweating, change in eating habits, restlessness, and body aches. Mental signs of stress. This includes anxiety, forgetfulness, depression, lack of interest, low self-esteem, increased anger, excessive fear. The behavioral signs of stress: hostility, irritability, under or overeating, lack of concentration, memory problems, smoking, poor performance. Yeah, the stress on nurses, possible danger to healthcare. This is trying to see the effect of stress on nurses and how it affects their work. Since my childhood days, next slide please. Since my childhood days, nurses were figured as angelic beings that have no iota of negative reactions like anger or frustration. These societal attributes may be because of the feminine dominance in nursing, because anger and frustration are not woman-like. Rather, attitudes of love, gentleness, compassion, meekness, and kindness are attributed as women's character, and in extension as angelic nature. This societal expectation of a nurse, in my own view, did not do justice to nurses in their line of care. It makes us see nurses as super beings that are not under human emotions, and in turn has put pressure on many nurses, making them to have frictions in their jobs. The multi-role of nurses causes a great deal of stress on them and goes a long way in discharging their duty to patients. Nurses are expected to bottle every uncomfortable situation they are passing through, ranging from home stress, for example, like difficult spouse or finances, and office stress, ranging from bullying superior to a difficult patient to a stubborn subordinate. However, we choose to ignore the fact that a bottle also has its fullest capacity. Stress can make nurses not to give their 100% to patient care because of divided attention, resentment, frustration, and sadness, to mention a few. And how do we manage our stress? I said stress is life. Reason being that it can never be destroyed, but only be managed, because stress is life, and life has woven all survival and successes with stress. There is no success story without hurdles. We can manage our stress in different available ways depending on what we are faced with. Below are the different helpful ways by which stress can be managed. And all these ways is dependent on what we are faced with and the condition or situation we find ourselves. Firstly, let us have a good disposition about life. Let us be open to change, which is very constant in life. Always prepare for change. Accept that a tangible achievement comes along with stress. Organize your life. You can do some things at your own pace rather than being competitive with other folks, like trying to match or rub shoulder with other people causes stress among us. Maintain cordial relationship with people around. They may be the lifesaver or comforter someday. Be wise and manage your anger. Kill envy and jealousy by all means. Avoid bad politics. Take a walk by the ocean. Listen to a favorite song. Drink a hot cup of tea if you're in the cold weather or cold region. Find a quiet place to relax. Go on a drive through the country. Write a friend a note or a letter, go see a fun, uplifting movie, go visit a favorite relative, read a good book, get a message, jump on a trampoline, try new things, take a long hot bath, do how do we call these relaxing exercise? I think yoga. You can engage yourself in yoga, go for a sail ride, get your hair cut and styled, visit the local zoo, eat a picnic outside, do some bird watching, take a walk, do things that you think will make you happy. And remember that yesterday is history. Next slide. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That is why it is called the present. And don't dwell on things you cannot change for too long. Thank you as you manage your stress better. Thank you.